Welcome to this week's MVP segment. I'm Beth Long at Bolingbrook High School, where we are profiling Fox Sports and Scout.com four-star cornerback who's got interest from all over the country. I'm talking about Parrker Westphal.
Go back to punt. Westphal's going to fake it. He's going to keep it himself. Run down the near sideline. He's got lots of room. He's got a first down by plenty.
All right, Parker, undefeated so far on the season. Sort of reminiscent of a couple years ago when Bolingbrook won the 8A state title. What is going right for you guys this year?
Just everybody staying disciplined, doing their job, not trying to be a superhero, but doing everybody else's job, just staying disciplined.
What are some keys for you as you continue to develop throughout the season?
For me, just making sure the team's focused and doing their job, because once you get out of listening to coaches and thinking that you know what you're doing, that's when big plays happen for the other team.
And speaking of big plays, you made a little bit of a transition this year to hopefully be that person that spurs more big plays on the defense, mainly playing cornerback, get a little bit of safety in this year. What do you like about being able to play both?
Just the versatility, because in college they're going to move me around at nickel, linebacker, and safety. But just knowing that my coaches don't have to worry about a single player. If I have to go play corner to lock half the field down, and that's what they use me for. Bolingbrook
has been known for their defense for quite some time. What is the motto of your defensive unit this year?
The motto will be DYJ, do your job. That's what they tell us in the film room every day.
What are some other things that you guys have keyed in on as a defense this year and have tried to make big improvements on and big steps towards?
Other than discipline and just fast-paced, playing aggressive. Knowing when you know your job, you can play at full speed. When you're questioning yourself and you're not certain, that's when you start letting up big plays, and then you're doubting your skills. They just dumb down the defense so we can use our abilities to our full potential.
As a junior, I know that you had some frustrations because teams were game planning against you, and they were pretty much isolating you and keeping you completely out of the play, not throwing anything your way. They were afraid you're going to pick the ball off. This year, it seems like making that move to safety in some of these games has helped you kind of get back in the game, even if teams are game planning against you. What has that been like, seeing a little bit more action and being able to kind of make a big impact in the game again?
Just being able to be at safety and they can't game plan or run the other way. It's a lot more fun. I'm more involved. You see me out there with a smile. I'm happy with my teammates. But when we're back in cover two, sometimes I feel the same way where I might fall asleep a little bit, because then the corners are making all the plays. But on our defense, we're unselfish, so we're not really worried about our stats.
How much mental gain is there in being a defensive back?
It's all mental, because if you let up a big play, you got to have no memory. You got to have a bad memory, because if you let up a big play, then if you're worried about that play, the next play, they're probably going to get another big play. But if you get too excited getting a pick or something, then they're going to get a big play. So you just got to have a bad memory.
What is the legacy that you hope Parrker Westphal leaves on Bolingbrook?
Just doing your job, and then hopefully just being like my big brother. I just follow his footsteps, a big hitter, and then putting the team first.
What are some things you've learned from him?
Just the bad memory part, because I used to get down on myself in Pop Warner. He just always tell me, forget that play, make up for it the next time. And then he always tells me, don't force a play, because if you try to force something, then most likely it's going to happen. But he's my role model.
And we mentioned you play different positions depending on the week here at Bolingbrook. A lot of colleges are looking at you for different positions too, like you mentioned, as both defensive back slots, cornerback, safety, nickel, you name it, they may try you at it.
Yeah.
What is the appeal of going to a place that might use you at a different spot than what you're in now?
Just more playing time and just being versatile, because in the NFL, there's a necessity for nickelbacks like Tyrann Mathieu. They use him at the Cardinals, so it's intriguing.
Speaking of more playing time, you're getting a little bit more on the offensive side of the ball this year than you have in the past at Bolingbrook. What's it like to line up at offense too sometimes?
I mean, it's a lot more fun, because at defense, you got to react to what they're doing. On offense, you know the play, so you don't really have to worry about anything.
You're a quiet guy on the quieter side. Do you find it a little bit more difficult to lead a team when you're one of the more quiet guys on the team? Yeah,
I've had to come out my bubble and talk a lot more. I got to be a more vocal leader. I always led by example, but now I got to talk a lot more when I'm breaking the team down. But it's fun. It's different.
First day when you came out here senior year and you're like, God, I got to be the one to lead this huddle. What were you thinking?
I mean, it was just instinct. I'm used to leading by example, so it was nothing new, but just being more vocal.
How do you think that's maybe evolved you as a football player, having to be a little bit more vocal on the field and being a leader?
You feel more in control, so it turns over in the field. You're a lot more aggressive, so I actually like it.
Well, thanks again for joining me, Parker. Best of luck on Friday as you
Thank you.
take those two big rivals on in the coming weeks. Make sure you stay on High School Cube. I'm Beth Long here with Parker Westphal.